The block ID is 869877. You're listening to the one and only Art of Freedom here live Monday nights, telling the stories of the artists in this incredible revolution what we call Bitcoin, and specifically Bitcoin art. My name is Rebel Money, and I'm your host of the Art of Freedom, together with the wonderful Florencia Montoya Salvadores. Flo, how are we doing?
Hey, Rebel. You went full name today.
I went full name. Just in case people were confused with the other Flo Montoya that we have in the Bitcoin art space.
Yeah, don't want people to get confused.
Exactly. So how you been, Flo? You all right?
I'm doing very good. I'm again in the south of my country, which is I love it. It's so green and it makes me happy.
It's in the south of Chile, is it?
Yeah, in Chile, in the south of the country.
Oh,
Mhm.
amazing. So, what's the difference between the north and the south, just for us people that have never been to Chile or never learned about Chile and should probably learn a lot more about Chile?
I hope you guys do. I'll try to give you excuses to come here, but in the meantime, Chile is very, very long, and in the north, like it's the opposite of the North Pole, or the like in the north here is very, very warm. We also have a desert in the north, and then the south you go, the colder and more green it gets. And I love it. This weather here reminds me more of like Europe, where I'm now. Like it rains more. Yeah, full of green. It's my favorite.
Sounds a lot like Wales. Lots of greenery. Are there lots of sheep in South Chile?
There are, but I think people grow. I don't know. Do you say grow? Grow more cows or
Uh, Ria, herd,
breed?
breed.
Breed?
Yeah, breed. Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, you find super good meat here. Um, Not a lot of goats, maybe, but yeah, you can find like sheep and cows.
amazing. So it sounds like home away from home. Fantastic. All right. So just a few announcements just before we head into the much anticipated interview with our guest, 21 Million Fashion. So on Saturday, we are holding the Art of Freedom art exhibition in Bristol. It's the best of British on November the 16th. If you're around in Britain and Bristol in particular on that day, 10 till 4 or 5, come on down. If you're an artist, bring your work. We'll get it on the wall and we're just going to have a great time. There's some loads of incredible speakers there. It's very much a DIY kind of grassroots conference, so it's going to be really fun, really pleb centric. So come on down, come say hi, and you might even see me on stage chatting about Bitcoin art. So I've only got half an hour, which is going to be very challenging. So I'm preparing my notes ready for that. If you pop along. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and lots of cool artists. 2140 crew are going to be there. We've got Mr. Hansel's going to be there. Cypher's going to be there. We've got some of the Dank Rays that are going to be there. We've also got one of the youngest Bitcoin artists who's going to exhibit. I believe he's 10 years old. So we've got some. It's going to be really good fun there. So come on down. All right, cool. I think that's enough with kind of the messages. Let's get on to the main event. And just to say before we start, if you want to contribute to this space, we really enjoy it. There's the message in the bottom right. You can either message us or our guest today, or you can even join in with a conversation if you want to just request to join in. We'd love to have you chatting as well. Right, this chap here, I met him at I've seen his work around the world actually. Everywhere I go, every conference I'm at, there's always an incredible bit of fashion there. It's 21 Million Fashion. And what kind of initially got me there is they have the Rebel range, which is awesome. And as far as I'm concerned, that's amazing. But the what's always drawn me to the incredible brand is the quality of fashion there, and it's not just kind of your standard Bitcoin t-shirts with here with Bitcoin bees or whatever it might be over it. It's really high quality, and you have to really feel it to get into it. I was very Fortunate to chat to Abu here at in the Netherlands in Amsterdam, and he kindly agreed to come on the show. So here we are today. I'd like you to give a warm welcome to 21 Million Fashion. How are we doing, mate?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Rebel, for this pretty cool introduction to my person. Hi, Flo, and hi, everyone who's listening and everyone who will listen to this spaces. I'm really looking forward to it. But first of all, what the fuck is happening in the Bitcoin space? It's almost $85,000 per one Bitcoin. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's absolutely insane, mate. Absolutely insane. So to give you an example, like this afternoon, me and my friends, normally the ones I've orange pilled, we normally send gifts of when the price goes up for new all-time high 1,000. So if it's,
Hmm.
74, 75, or whatever. This afternoon we got to 81 and then we completely forgot and we got to 85. So it was like a huge, four kind of gap there. It's just blowing my mind, and if anything, it's incredible proud moment as a Bitcoiner and as Bitcoiners that we've hodled so
Yes.
long. We've said, fuck you to the system in the nicest possible way, and we've hodled, and here we are. How are you feeling about it?
It's just amazing. So you can watch it on two sides, I think, and I would say the second side, how I take a view on this rise of Bitcoin is the first, it's cool if your net worth is going up, but the second thing, the point of view, if you see the market of Bitcoin and the rise of it as a devaluation of the current fiat system, it's absolutely amazing if you look at the market in this way. So it's just a confirmation for us again that we are right here and making history all the time, all time high, all day long. So it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So I really need to give you a compliment on this show because it's called Art of Freedom, and we are gonna sit here in 2024 and we smell the spirit, the new direction of humanity, which maybe goes directly in a totally paradigm shift with BTC, and I really enjoy the ride of BTC and the devaluation of the current system. To be honest,
It's great, mate, isn't it? It is. We always kind of thought we were right, but until it until it actually comes into fruition, we are definitely correct now. And the other thing as
yeah.
well is as another way of perhaps measuring it, rather than perhaps the increase in value of Bitcoin in dollar terms, and or the decrease in fiat, the fiat is going down. It's also, I like to look at the kind of Bitcoin price or Bitcoin value as a way of Bitcoin culture as well proliferating around the world. So generally, and because we're human beings, people around the world are going to buy into Bitcoin now because of the price. The price increases. That's how a lot of people started. That's how I started, and then eventually they get hooked on the culture, and we get more and more people into this thing that we call Bitcoin art. So I think it's. Number go up is not necessarily a bad, a kind of an evil thing, even though it's kind of like the money going up. And obviously, great for us artists because it helps lengthen the time that we have to dedicate to our craft.
You're totally right. So first we come to Bitcoin because of the money, and now we stayed for the revolution, right? So maybe for the people who don't know me, I'm Abu from rainy Germany. I founded one of the very first Bitcoin art galleries actually back in 2020 because I just found some prints with a bee on it, and I was looking for some decoration for my house, and there was an artist who followed me on Instagram because I made a lot of content back in the days about BTC. And I was asking, hey, let's do some art together. I'm from the Bitcoin space, you already know, and you're a great pop art artist. I have some ideas. And that was the beginning actually from bit art. and my cultural documentation, or the documentation of the cultural movement of Bitcoin. And yeah, until now, I'm working with eight artists around the world, and most of the artists are not deep into BTC. That's the cool thing of my gallery, I would say, because it's a kind of an orange pilling process, how I call it, because I go to the artist and say, hey, I have a new idea. I discovered a new door in the rabbit hole. Let's talk about it. And the artist, came to me and say, okay, let's do it. Let's hear what you can show to me. And the special thing is, if I work with artists in this way, they discover BTC from a different perspective. So maybe I was creating an artwork called Green Bitcoin. It's about the energy mix and consumption of BTC. As you know, BTC almost uses green energy. I think 60% is the current energy mix. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's in this way. And he told me, is it really, is it this way how Bitcoin uses energy, not just bad energy, almost so much a good energy, and that's the way how we talk about a specific topic. So he sent it me the skull of Satoshi, and yeah, Greenpeace has to be right, but not no. It's just a kind of propaganda and making Bitcoin looking bad in the society, and that's the way how we work at BitArt with different artists. So I came. How can I say? I would say most of the artists I'm currently working with are Bitcoiner right now. So I think it took 2 to 3 years that they discovered the real beauty of Bitcoin through art. And that's magical, I think. And let's get away from showing the cultural movement of BTC through art and come to my fashion brand. I think you want to talk about the fashion brand more in this spaces. I founded the fashion brand back in 2023, so last year. And I had the same idea. I want to document the cultural movement of BTC through something people can wear or can see in a physical way. So it's much easier to get orange pilled, I think, if people can talk about a physical item, about BTC. And that was the beginning of 21 million fashion.
As you're I think you're right there, because we talk about art a lot on here, and we talk about maybe physical art, painting, sculpture, etc. But we can't take our paintings and sculpture everywhere we are with us. But if we have a fashion brand that celebrates Bitcoin, we're almost like, in a good way, a walking billboard for Bitcoin, aren't we?
And I might say it's the power of wearable arts, and that can be done by fashion and maybe by other stuff too. And I've seen it. Like I've had some people ask, like, um, for example, about a Bitcoin ring. Why? Like people wonder, like, why are you wearing that, or what does it mean, or why would someone do that? It's again, art pops that question. But with wearable stuff, it's like you get it into the real world much more, and into like more people's faces. Maybe it's easier for them to pop the question. And I had no idea you were the same person that had done the Bit Art Gallery. I remember checking it out, and I think it's amazing, the story behind it, because I didn't know that you were working with artists that weren't Bitcoiners at the beginning. And it's crazy because I go to different workshops, or I have like my artist friends, and I try to orange peel them, and it's very, very hard. Even when I say like, hey, maybe we can collaborate on something and you can learn, and I can take it to this conference, and they're like, yeah, cool idea, thank you. But then nothing happens. Like, it's not super easy. So I guess you did a great job there, orange peeling them.
Yes, of course. How I do orange pilling with artists, it's pretty simple actually. So I'm looking for some talents. Mostly they are artists who n- are not really known, or they are almost established in the space with the art they are creating. For example, Program Zero. I don't know if you know him. He's the guy who created the Orange Pill collection in Lugano. Have you seen it, Rebel or Flo? Flo, you have not been in Lugano, right? Rebel, were you in Lugano?
I think Flo's been to Lugano actually, but I
Oh,
haven't.
really?
But I know the Program Zero, and I know the pills that you're talking about. Yes, like several. Best way to describe it is like a giant pill with certain things inside it. Several different objects. I think one's the Statue
Yeah.
of Liberty and a few others.
And Program Zero wasn't a Bitcoiner. He has nothing to do with this. He just discovered BitArt, and I wrote to him, hey, let's create something together. I think you are very talented in the stuff you're creating. And he started with Ethereum artworks. So I told him, come on, let's do Bitcoin art. Let's talk about the Bitcoin space and the beauty of Bitcoin, because everything else is just bullshit. It's shitcoin. It's not worth your time. So you really can work on something that is much bigger than any individual in this on this planet. But in the meantime, in the same time, every individual gets sovereign again to strong all the societies on Earth. And I think he got it now, and he's very deep into the Bitcoin space right now. He's every week he comes with a new idea and say, yeah, it's great, just do it, just do it, just do it. And there are 7 other artists I'm working with in this direction, and yeah, it's called BitArt. Check it out here on X, and it makes a lot of fun, and it's kind of a passion and a mission as well for me, because there are so many great Bitcoin artists, and I think nearly everything what you guys are creating. Rebel, you with your mask, it's amazing. Flo, you also did so many cool projects so far. But there are artists who are very talented but don't discover the beauty of Bitcoin yet. So it's a kind of a mission with BitArt, and of course I still work with Bitcoin artists as well. Maybe with Modio Tech, I was with him. You had him last week on the show. I was with him in Nashville. We had a booth together, and he's also creating pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So BitArt it's a pretty cool idea, I think.
It's really cool what you're doing, and I've always been a firm belief that all artists are Bitcoiners. They just don't know it yet, or they just need a little bit of a nudge in the right direction. Because once you start to describe exactly what Bitcoin is and how, I suppose, how rebellious is, artists in general are generally quite rebellious on the fringes of society, always looking to kind of document and capture human kind of expression at its kind of extreme, and so I think it just makes complete sense to that you've and it's wonderful that you've actually orange pilled 8 artists, and we try and do our little bit here on the Art of Freedom. If everyone here sends this spaces out to all their artist friends, I'm sure we'd get lots more artists in the space. And I don't know, what do you think? How do you see it playing out in the future? Do you think over the next couple of years we're going to get lots of artists over into the Bitcoin space?
Yes, of course. I think we gonna attract many talented artists because it's just a characteristic of sound money, isn't it? If we have good money, sound money, which cannot be printed out of thin air, it creates a total new perspective on quality and doing good stuff and investing your time. And you can just invest your time, your energy, and your money. And if your money also is not devalued by the society for the by the government, for example, and you're so sovereign to decide how to invest your scarce time, maybe in a scarce asset, I think it's going to be a really huge cultural movement the next years. And yeah, has it already done so far. Since I'm a class of 2017, I was like I said back in 2020, I didn't found many Bitcoin artists, and over the next 4 years, there are so many great artists right now, and I think it's gonna double and triple in the next 4 to 5 years, and there will be so good work. And with good money, there will be proof of work again. And that's the way how we work at 21 million fashion also.
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry, Rebel, I got you.
No, you go for it.
Okay. Well, something that's very essential that I think relates to what you were mentioning is that Bitcoin gives us back time, and when we have time, we can be creative. People fighting against the rat wheel, or however we call it, the fiat system. It's impossible for them to that we ask them to also be creative. It's too exhausting, and creativity in every realm, it's not something easy. Like it you need energy, you need time to be creative. And I really think, and well, the more we do it, the more we inspire someone else, and you never know who might get inspired by your work, and then might be create this person might create something new and amazing. And I'm super hopeful about this in the future, like how we can expand this creativity wave maybe. And yeah, I really, I had no idea, like this job you're doing, um every time we can help someone else to discover Bitcoin and or until them, I think it's important, not just because we're super convinced of what Bitcoin means and all of that, but because we give them the opportunity to decide for themselves. We're just giving information, and then it's in their free will to do whatever they want. So it's not imposing anything, and it opens so many doors. And yeah, so but going to back to the fashion brand. Um, I was wondering, were you always related to the fashion world, or where did that came from?
Yeah, for the people who don't know me, I'm I'm just a guy, I would say, who loves to be creative, and I'm on the path to live fully everything what's inside of me. What do you mean by this sentence? I would say I don't need a background in the fashion industry to be someone who can create amazing fashion stuff. I don't need to be someone who studied art. I can create everything what I want, but I have to invest the proof of work to get there. So every time people are wondering, okay, you studied economics, why are you doing art and fashion? I can tell you, I do it because it's part of me. It's my identity, it's my passion, and I will go for it. Bitcoin brought me the consciousness, I would say, to really think without any borders. And that's very important, I think, to live a fulfilled life, you know? And I'm always I was always a guy who loved fashion, get dressed well. I think Rubble can in Germany we say you can sing a song with it if somebody's really deep into it. I think you know how the Britons, especially in Wales, get dressed with the suits and all this beautiful wool, and they really love and celebrate get dressing well. And I'm just the guy who gets dressed well. um how can I say, who loves it, just who loves it. And I was thinking, okay, Bitcoin gave me hope. Bitcoin gives me a new consciousness of being creative and just me, and live everything, or give everything to the earth I have inside. And I just started a fashion brand in the combination with BTC, with the proof of work, and with the things I love. I don't need to have any background. I can work with people who have a background. If I want to design maybe a new jacket, but I can't create sketches on my display here on my iPad. I asked him or her, let's do it. I have an idea. And so we're going to start to design a new jacket. I don't need to be a designer. Um, I don't have to, yeah, make sketches. So do you know what I mean? I don't need a background, right?
Yeah, I
To be
understand.
just me,
Mm.
I would
You have
say.
it's your own passion what drives you to find the way and the answer, to maybe solve this problem and create the new product, something like that.
Pardon? What did you say?
It's like your own passion drives you to solve the problem you're facing with each new product or each new thing you want to create, like you.
Exactly.
I fully understand. There's many times that I want to do something that I don't know the technique, because even if studied art, when you study art, you don't learn every technique. You learn one, two, maybe, or yeah, if you're like super, I don't know, into doing a lot of different stuff at the same time, you learn three, but you don't really go into that many. And then when you're creating, I totally understand what you mean. Like sometimes you see something and you don't know how to make it real into the world, and you have to figure it out. And I love that. When I was wondering about your background, I think maybe for me it's like what you said is like you always liked maybe fashion, or like how you dress, and maybe you find it in this in fashion and in garments or clothes, a way of express yourself or something like that.
Yes, exactly. So everything what I'm doing, it's just because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin gave it back to me to live the full of everything what's inside me. It's giving me time. It's giving me sovereignty. Yeah, it gives me freedom, and I think it's the art of freedom of every individual um, and human being. And yeah, I think that's the beauty, the real beauty of Bitcoin, and how to express this beauty through art and fashion, right? And many other services people can create where a proof of work is into it. And yeah, it's just the expression of myself, everything what I'm doing currently.
You are listening to the Art of Freedom here every Monday night on the Spaces. Um, just in case you tuned in, we are here with 21 million. And just because you've been on the show, mate, we've had some messages in down below from Mark Senegal Jr. It's the BTC pump, just to make sure everyone's aware, which I'm pretty sure that everyone's got their price tickers on kind of at the moment anyway in the background. I think Bitcoin's pumped another thousand and a half dollars since we've been on air. So we're doing a good job, I think. Overall promoting Bitcoin and getting it further. One post I really want to draw attention to, if everyone just wants to just take a bit of time out their day, bottom right hand corner, click on the messages there, scroll down, and you'll see a handsome chap there. Bitcoin Jesus is rocking the fashion brand. There he is, happy as can be, smiling, um, in a 21 million Rebel jacket. Thank you for sharing that picture, sir. I really appreciate that. And I've seen this jacket everywhere. It's absolutely it's awesome. And I think the main difference, like, between the fashion brands and kind of the 21, and particularly the Rebel range as well, obviously drawn to that for obvious reasons, is the kind of, I love the kind of punk aesthetic to it, and the kind of the roughness, but also the incredible tailoring and really well made sense of the jacket. So where did your inspirations come from in kind of the punk aesthetic, in particular for the Rebel brand?
Yeah, first of all, Daniel, thank you so much for showing the picture and the comments. I was waiting for a picture actually, I think 1 month for now, but already I can see it. It's just amazing, and you look great on it. And I really need to talk about this jacket because I think it fits perfect to the times we currently have. It's just a quick explanation of the jacket. It's a military jacket. It's the very first Bitcoin fashion military jacket. And I'm sure you all know one of the most famous quotes in the Bitcoin space: make war unaffordable. And the military jacket is exactly about that point. We have the romantic view into the future that Bitcoin maybe can make war unaffordable or less possible, or maybe people from different countries don't fight each other because it's just too expensive with sound money. And there came the idea for the military jacket. It's kind of polarizing, I know, but I think the message of Bitcoin and the possibilities we have with BTC needs to be loud. And this is the answer to your question, Rebel. Where does the inspiration come from? I think you all know it. If it's in the Ukraine and Russia war, it's not a good thing. All people, I think, don't like war. So there is this possibility of making war unaffordable, and we were thinking about, okay, how can we create a jacket which is loud, polarizing, and an eye catcher, and of course maybe a point of or maybe an item which accelerates the orange pilling in the masses. On the back, if you click on the picture, you can't see the picture, so you need to go to my website maybe. On the back there is the skull, and the skull has some punky hairs, and the hairs are written out of cypherpunk. So it's about privacy. It's about making war unaffordable. The teeth are with the inscription "Make war unaffordable." And yeah, if somebody sees you in this jacket, they will probably talk to you because you're actually wearing a military jacket, but it's not a jacket for war. It's against war and the peaceful revolution and the legacy which Satoshi brought us back in 2008 and 2009. It's not just a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It's a peaceful revolution. And there was, the idea born to the jacket. And it's not about a painting or a sculpture. It's about spreading the message to a cool jacket an eye-catchy jacket and start orange pilling by talk about the jacket which you are wearing on conference or in the public.
And in case you were checking out your, there we are. We've got the back actually. Flo's put a picture of the back in the comments, and Daniel has also put a picture of the back there. And Daniel owns one of those jackets. You also have other celebrity kind of owners of that jacket. I'd look on your site, and yeah, you had Mr. Russell Brand. He got one of your jackets as well. How did that come about?
Yeah, Russell Brand got the jacket in Nashville. It was kind of a mission that I had back in the days. And I was thinking, okay, how can I spread the word of making war unaffordable through my military Bitcoin jacket in an effective way? And I was hearing that Russell Brand also are going to attend Nashville. And I said to myself, okay, so we need really influential people who need to spread the word to get it even to the masses, because everybody knows Russell Brand if they are into maybe looking films or watching movies or so on. And yeah, it was a kind of a mission for me. So I was traveling from beautiful, rainy Germany to Nashville, had a booth, had some products in the deep. And yeah, when Russell Brand had hit its panel with Peter McCormack, I was talking to Carly. She is responsible for the VIP services at the conferences, and I was talking to her. Carly, look, I have this jacket, and Russell Brand is a perfect fit for this jacket. I need to talk to him, and I need to give him this jacket. I don't know how, but we need to do it. Okay, it's important, and yeah, that was. Then the panel was taking place, and I was so fucking nervous. Max Kaiser, Stacy, everyone was around him, and I said, Carly, I'm here with a jacket. And Carly, oh yeah, okay, come over. I was walking behind the, I don't know how to say in English, the, how can I say? I don't know the English word.
Say it in German.
In German, yeah, Absperrung.
Absperrung. No, I don't remember
Seil.
that.
Seil.
The what?
Seil. Anyway, forget it. But I was able to come to Russell Brand, and I was talking to him. I said, look, I have this really important jacket. It's about bringing peace to the people, or the awareness of making war unaffordable. And you're already into Bitcoin, and you know it's sound money, and maybe it's a little bit romantic, but I think we can, on a Bitcoin standard, make war unaffordable, or less how can I say, less possible for bad people, maybe, or for countries who want to attack other countries. So he was loving the story, and he said, yes, of course, give it to me, and I will wear it. I will take it. Thank you so much. And he's, by the way, very, very kind. He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah.
It's a really cool story, mate. I think I was, you know, that this is the Russell Brand Appreciation Society here, but just I think I was at that same talk, and actually one of the touching moments is where Lynn Ulbricht actually went up and chatted to Russell just after his talk there. I think it must have been around a similar time that you met him, and he offered his phone number to her if she needed any support or anything like that. So that was really touching. And this is the great thing: no matter you're a Bitcoiner, celebrity, if you want to look at it like that, or you're a pleb. There's definitely a community in Bitcoin, and we are all fighting together for the same message and the same journey as well, which is really inspiring. If you just joined us, you're listening to The Art of Freedom. If you want to interact with the show, and we've had a lot of interactions tonight, absolutely insane. It's great. Naomi's on here, BTC Aloha, great show. Bitcoin fashion is taking off. We appreciate that, Naomi. We appreciate you listening, and also a couple of weeks back when you were on the show as well, talking to us about your fashion as well. Bitcoin fashion is definitely taking off, and it's something that more and more people are going to be wearing, but just not just any random Bitcoin bees on. They're just quality products that people want to wear, and Bitcoiners, because we are what we are. When we spend our Bitcoin, we expect the best, because Bitcoin's the hardest money that's been ever made. So if you want to join in with the show, by all means, just drop us a message down the bottom there, and we will happily get you chatting up here. The other thing, Apume, is I think you're one of these people that, just talking to you now and talking to you in Amsterdam, once you get your teeth into it, you seem like an incredibly determined individual, and an entrepreneur, someone who can turn their hand to absolutely anything. And I also really like kind of your creative and visionary side. And one of the other products that I looked at in the Bitcoin Amsterdam, which I want to draw attention to, because I think it's one of the coolest things I've seen, and it kind of goes back to like, it reminds me of Yonat Vax is creations as well, and she's created some incredible Bitcoin cloak, using kind of the old school. I say old school, old. I believe it was old sheep's wool technique that was used in order to create that. You've created the Genesis pseudonymous goggles, which are insane. I picked it up and I wasn't sure what it was, to be honest with you, the first time. But once you explained it to me, I thought it was really, really cool. Could you just give a quick insight into what those goggles are, and how you, in your creative brain, how you thought, right, I'm bring this to life?
That's so funny, but it's very difficult to explain them if you don't see it. Flo, maybe you can drop a picture in the comments and I can try to explain what I was thinking when I created these goggles. Yeah, how to start? I think the most interesting characteristic of these goggles are the fact that these goggles were the first manufactured in 2000 years ago. So the the goggles and how they look like are more than 2000 years, and they came from the Inuits, and they protected against snow blindness. So it's a kind of a goggle which is good for your health. And they have a small, do we have it in the comments already? Not yet.
We'll get it up.
Okay, cool.
I'll do
I'm
it.
trying to find a picture, but I don't have it. Sorry.
No problem. So they were first created by the Inuits 2000 years ago to protect against snow blindness, because everything is so, yeah, bright white, or how can I say, and they needed to protect, to see through these goggles without getting ill or getting something in your head. I can't say it better in English, sorry. But I was wondering, okay, human were able to create the very first goggles 2000 years ago. So if you're wearing these goggles, it's kind of taking a look back how the world would like if you're back 2000 years. But so it's exactly the same Google. You can find on my website how the Inuits created it. And how can I connect it to BTC? I was thinking, and it was obvious to me, because you can't see the eyes through the goggles. You just have a small, how can I say,
Yes, slot or a small aperture.
Yeah, right. So it's not it's not above all security against sunlight or snow blindness. It also protects your privacy because if you're wearing these goggles made out of real elk antlers, it's so 100% natural product, and yeah, it's kind of protecting your privacy as well. And that was the point where I was thinking, hey, it's a pretty cool connection to BTC. It's good for your health, and it's also good for your privacy. So I see a lot of people wearing some glasses on conferences or masks. So I was thinking, how can I do it in a fashionable way of express the importance of privacy. And yeah, that was the reason. And I think if we just imagine people created the very first Google 2000 years ago, and now we have this new society which is maybe awakening with a new consciousness of creating value to the next people. I think it's a pretty cool connection. How far the humanity came back 2000 years ago already.
I think it's really cool, mate. I can imagine it on like I can definitely imagine someone like, I know, Kanye West or somewhere like that actually wearing these goggles walking down the catwalk. But you know, as you said, it's I love it because it pays homage to the past, just in the same way, you know, kind of crypto graffiti's evolution piece springs to mind, where he looks at the evolution of money. You're almost looking at the evolution of fashion as well, and looking at it through a Bitcoin lens as well. So that's really exciting, and obviously bringing back the old kind of proof of work from the old days. And making something that lasts as well, because that is really important. We don't want to be spending sats every year or so on. We want products that are built to last, that we have a lifetime, that are comfortable, and that's definitely what your brand offers. I'm wondering.
Absolutely, and I think, like you said, maybe someday, I don't know if I get to it or to this point. Maybe there will a day in the future where a celebrity is going to wear exactly these goggles, and everybody will ask themselves, what is it? And they discover a BTC symbol. They discover a 21M disk inscription. And if only one influential person is going to wear it, I think it's like a big snowball who's getting to roll in the masses. Everybody will ask, what is it about? And that's the time we get maybe some new people on board to BTC. And yeah, that's again an eye-catching product. And yeah, maybe there's a day in the future where some celebrities are going to wear it, and it's about Bitcoin, but you don't know it's about Bitcoin if you're just a guy who's enjoying his life and don't think about the monetary system or so on. And but there will be a day where the masses are going to discover BTC, and maybe we can do it through art or fashion in this way. And that's the thought behind the goggles.
That is really cool. Now, I'll have a look in my contacts list. I don't think I've got Kanye's number, but I'll see what we can do. We might put a little post out to him, say, "Listen, mate, You got any friends of yours that want to wear some incredible goggles?
Maybe Scottie Pippen knows Kanye West. I will try it in Abu Dhabi in
do it, mate.
December. I will definitely.
Scott Pippen is channeling Satoshi Nakamoto in his dreams at the moment. So
Yeah,
so I don't know really what's happening with Scottie Pippen at the moment, but yeah, mate, that'd be incredible. That would Chicago Bulls kind of legend wearing it, mate. That would be.
or Michael Jordan. If I get to Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan is not
Michael
far
Jordan.
away. Everything is possible, right?
Mate, of course. And this is kind of like, this is what I love about you and your brand in particular, is like this attitude of a very can-do kind of attitude. Anything is possible. You're going to go on and take on the world, and you don't see any reason why Bitcoin can't be high fashion, etc. So what I want to ask you, mate, is where are you going to go in the future with this? I mean, it seems, just chatting to you here, the sky is the limit. But where do you want to be? Where do you want to go with not even necessarily the 21 million fashion brand, but your brands or your projects that you'll have in the future?
Yeah, maybe I will first talk about 21 million fashion, where I want to be with 21 million fashion, because I think it's a very big mission for me and a big aim I really need to reach. And for example, I'm currently preparing a really new level of Bitcoin jackets on the highest standard. I never created something like this. It's about proof of work jackets, Max and Stacy proof of work jackets for the winning team of the Max and Stacy Golf Invitational. I don't know if you already heard about it. It's taking place in January. A lot of pretty cool people are coming. For example, Robert Salinas is also coming, organized by Max Kaiser and Stacy. We will have a golf tournament from the 10th to the 11th of January. And there are only 300 people, I think, and 90 golf players. And there are just a handful of tickets left. So feel free to check it out if you want to join very smart minds in the Bitcoin space. And I think you all know Max Kaiser and Stacy, what they've done so far since 2011. It's just amazing. And yeah, we are very honored to work with them on the winner's jacket the winning team gets from winning the golf tournament. And I traveled almost 2,000 kilometers to a corporation partner, a factory who's creating fabrics also for Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, or Giorgio Armani. And we are using exactly the same fabrics like Dior or Chanel are using in Paris, in Milan, while they're creating fashion stuff. And I think it's going to be the highest standard with these fabrics we are using, you can currently get on the market worldwide. And we are combining it with Bitcoin fashion. And Bitcoin fashion needs to be about a proof of work. But Bitcoin fashion needs to come out of our small bubble, I think. And that's the mission I was setting for myself. I want to be at a fashion week someday with 21 million fashion in Paris or in London or in Berlin. And I really want to spread the word of Bitcoin and an OPSEC level, to the masses. And if I can get to this point, I can really say, okay, I did a small thing, a really, really, really small thing for BTC just to get more awareness for this wonderful technology. So that's the aim I currently have with 21 million fashion. And if we come to my person, I just want to follow my dreams. I just want to, I don't want to think in any borders. I will do the things I'm passionate about, and I just want to have a great time on planet Earth, creating value for others, doing great stuff, having a monetary system which is not printed out of thin air and all this fiat shitty and altcoins, shitcoins stuff. I want a good money. I want just to create myself and bringing value to the people, and that's the way I'm going forward. And if I'm doing what makes me happy with the people I love, creating value for others, it will be a fulfilling life when I'm old and looking back to the things I've created.
It's amazing. I can't wait to see everything you're going to build. And we still have some minutes, and we received this mic thingy from Bitcoin Shooter. So Bitcoin Shooter, join us.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to say it's the first time I'm seeing your artwork. So that's the fashion, rather. I mean, I guess they're both. It's art, fashion. But yeah, I feel the same about creating art and trying to like think about the biggest goals. And so making this film, and I'm always imagined about like being on Joe Rogan talking about it. So if and when that comes to fruition, I'm definitely going to get a set of those goggles so I can give it to Joe Rogan, because I think it'd be cool, like all the other people you said, but I think Joe Rogan specifically would really appreciate it, especially the story behind it. So anyway, man, yeah, so we're all interchanged. My success is your success. If I get there, I'll definitely be getting a pair from you, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your words. Incredible.
Shooter, we absolutely love it, mate. Thank you so much for your contribution, and we really, again, if everyone hasn't seen it yet, you also need to go and check out the No More Inflation trailer as well. So you can click on Shooter's avatar there and go and check it out. It's he's doing some awesome stuff in the filming world, and also, mate, just send us a message whenever you're ready to come and talk about it again. We really want to have you back on the show as one of the first guests that have been on The Art of Freedom twice. There we go. Not many people can say that. So, mate, that is one grand mission, and we're backing you all the way. And when I mean we, the Bitcoin art community and all the Bitcoiners within it are really egging you on and want you to succeed, because if you succeed, then we all succeed, my friend. Just before we part, do you have any final words? And also, where can people look at your art, fashion, and where can they buy some items if they want to look amazingly cool?
Yeah, Robert, I think somebody requested here to speak. Dan, with an emoji.
Oh yes, okay. Dan, apologies, mate. We've just run out of time this week. We're just getting towards the end of the show, but if you want to drop a message, we'll make sure that's passed on towards 21 million, and we'll make sure we get to you on that. Again, if anyone wants to join in any earlier, we're really sorry, mate. Just because we've got tight deadlines, but pass it on, mate, and we'll definitely get you hooked up with our 21 million. So just before we go, 21 million, where can we find out more about your brand, and if anyone wants to get in touch and purchase some amazing clothing?
Yeah, of course. So just check out our X here, 21 Million Fashion. If you want to check out our art, feel free to add us at BitArt here on X. Maybe I can type it in as well later. So it's the easiest way. You can see my website on my X profile. You can send me a direct message, and I will coming back to all of you.
And are you in any shows coming up in anytime soon?
What do you mean? On shows, podcasts, or conferences?
Conferences, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm going to Abu Dhabi in December. In January, I'm attending the Max and Stacy Golf Invitational, and Las Vegas, of course. And I think every big conference you can see me. And please feel free to talk to me, and yeah, let's connect.
That would be amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just been listening to.
Before I forget it, thank you so much, Flo and Rebel, for hosting here the Art of Freedom. You did amazing so far. I really appreciate your invite to talk about my stuff, and it's the proof of work what you've doing here, what you've doing so far for the artist and everyone who loves art and talk about personal freedom and the art of freedom. I really appreciate your work.
That's very kind. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's honestly is a joy, and especially when we well most weeks every week we get Bitcoiners on artists talking about their stories, and it's really easy and really kind of really fulfilling, and fills me with lots of hope every week, and realizing that around the world artists are doing incredible things to proliferate this great culture. So thank you for what you do, and all the artists in the room as well, and anyone who's listening, because you're contributing something to greater than yourselves. And it's really, really awesome, really humbling. And I feel very humbled to be on the show with Flo as kind of like a little mouthpiece to try and hopefully promote this incredible thing that we call Bitcoin art. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for 21 million on the show there. You know where to go and find him if you want to just be strutting your stuff at the next conference and just be looking really, really cool. So thank you very much for that. Just a few notices before we go. Flo, who have we got in for next week?
Yeah, first, thank you so much, 21 million, for your words, your kind words. And next week, we have Pepe Langelo. So I'm very excited. We are going to be talking about painting, oil painting specifically, and her journey. And I'm very excited about that new episode.
That's going to be good. So join us same time, same place next week here on The Art of Freedom. And until then, go out and make something awesome. Have a great week, everyone.
Have an amazing
Thanks.
creative week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.